That did better than I expected. Shadow Generations is a game that, as of this video dropping, will be releasing in a few weeks, and with so many people hyped for the game, except for a local minority, excitement for the game has been through the roof, with countless clips of Shadow being the ultimate life form, facing villains from both his past and Sonic's too, I guess. With so many new levels being gloriously recreated and given new life, I can't help but feel sorry for the Blue Blur himself. Hello my friends, and today I'm going to be talking about how the Sonic Generations portion of Sonic X Shadow Generations deserves better. This video was inspired by this comment right here. If you want me to legally steal your ideas and talk about them, leave a comment down below. I'd love to ramble about these things, and also subscribe while you're at it so I can keep making these videos for you. I will say off the bat, as I was doom scrolling through the comments, which is something that you should never do, a lot of opinions really tickled my fancy. Others more than this one, but to capitalize on the Sonic Generation hype train, I really wanted to talk about this comment in particular. Now Ethan, I hear you saying, Sonic Generations is the near perfect Sonic game. It doesn't need any new level changes, just graphically upscale the game to run at 4K 120 FPS, and maybe polish a few textures, and bada bing bada boom. Sonic Generations remasters. Why change it? Then why are half the comments telling me that they plan on rewriting the story to make it better? And why is the drop dash in this game? I'm sorry, I'm a sucker for the drop dash, trust me, but that move works better in a more open momentum based environment, not a linear AAA Sonic Dash game. For classic Sonic though, oh, that makes complete and total sense. That's gonna feel incredible to use. The Chow action mission thing is pretty interesting, I guess. No Chow Garden though. Sonic Adventure and Sonic Jam skins. Oh, okay, I see what you're doing there. You're cooking. But for this game being a quote-unquote remaster, this looks plain as hell. Now, the other argument that people will say is, oh, we just haven't seen the full game yet. You gotta be patient. And to that I say, remember how that turned out? And while yes, I'm aware YouTube compression is a thing, I'm just straight up not sold on this being a remaster. This looks the same to me. Oh my god. I'm sorry, but if you're gonna go out of your way to change base generations, why not go all the way and give us new levels? You've already changed the game enough where it would destroy half the mods in base generations. And don't give me that bull squid when people say all the mods will transfer over from this game to this one because Gens is basically left untouched. Excuse me? I don't know if you remember trying to mod Sonic Frontiers and how subtle updates would break half the mods and major updates even more so. A majority of the mods will not work in this game. I am telling you right now. And if I am wrong in the future, please tell me because I would love to be happily surprised. But coming back to the viewer's comment, the one thing that they wanted to focus on was the neglect of the 2010s era. And I guess I can kind of see where they're coming from. The most prominent games in the 2010s era as far as my research go is Sonic Colors, Sonic Generations, but that doesn't really count. A lot of racing games, god I hate the racing games. Sonic Boom, Rise of Mid, the best mobile Sonic game of all time, Sonic Mania, and Sonic Forces. I'm not including Sonic Frontiers and Superstars in this list. Now, we're gonna ignore Forces, not because the game sucks, but because Sunset Height is already in Shadow Generations, and oh my god, it looks so freaking good! Why is it that we couldn't get any additional levels for Sonic Generations? Now, I get it, correct me if I'm wrong, but the way the stages were segmented was in 3 parts. The Classic era, representing Sonic 1, 2, and 3, the Adventure era, representing Sonic Adventure 1, 2, and Sonic Heroes, and lastly, the quote-unquote modern era, representing the best Sonic game of all time, Sonic 06 and Sonic Colors. I'm sorry, but there are so many levels that we can do from older Sonic titles. I personally don't know a lot of them, but what the commenter said was 1 level from every mainline game, 1 rival fight from every era, and 1 boss fight from every era. Does that make sense? I don't think that really makes an awful lot of sense. I'm trying here. I guess my question is, how do the Sonic eras even work these days? I keep hearing Premi de Remy say that this is the multimedia era, which I guess I could see where he's coming from, so I'll just go with that. I think adding levels from Lost World and Sonic Boom would be interesting, but I just don't know how that would work, because to be frank, I wouldn't touch those games with a 11-foot pole. I'm sorry. Lost World, maybe. Just maybe. I'm really trying to help you out here, man. I don't know. Now, Ethan, I hear you asking, why would they go out of the way to improve Generations when we have Shadow Generations? Hot take, if this game wasn't bundled with Sonic Generations and it was sold at its current price, I don't believe it would have had a shot to stand on its own. And if that's not the case, then why is it being bundled with one of the most critically acclaimed Sonic games of all time? If it could walk the walk, it wouldn't need a crutch like this, and please don't give me the it fits in with the story. story. Horseradish! The viewer brought up an extremely interesting conundrum. At this rate, they are rewriting Sonic Generations, and they can't help but be upset about it. Sonic Generations is by no means a hard gushing story like Sonic Adventure 2 and the best Sonic game of all time, but it's satisfactory enough. And honestly, Sonic Generations isn't a game that you play for the story, it's a celebration of the franchise. Remember when video games were about gameplay and not... But coming back, the viewer implies a scenario where in 2015, Sonic Unleashed gets a glorious port to PC, to which it really does need that. But instead of doing any cool changes like new locations and contents to explore, it gets bundled with classic Sonic, and it has reworked dialogue to match the 2010s era. God, if Sonic said Baldy McNosehair to Eggman while plummeting to the Earth's core, personally one of the most rawest moments in that game, yeah, I throw a fit too. On top of that, I really wish they would show us more changes from base form generations. What could they possibly offer that modders haven't accomplished yet? The footage you're seeing right now is modded, and I think I'll show a comparison of one without mods just to show you what they're fighting against. They need to give me one hell of a good reason to take this Sonic Generations over this one. I can already tell there are going to be videos comparing the differences like how they did it for 3D World. But okay, they won't give us new levels, and they won't do crazy touch-ups. What else could they have possibly given us besides Shadow Generations? Sonic Generations 3DS. Now Ethan, I hear you saying, how would you even go about doing that? Emulation. Okay, then make the Sonic 3DS portion Switch exclusive, which actually, now that I say it out loud, would suck a buck ton, but I don't know. Make this portion of Sonic Generations available in different means, please. It's been stuck on the 3DS forever, and honestly, it would be very nice if it was ported to Switch. And can I talk about the Switch version of this game for a second? I'm gonna keep it real with you. I think the only reason why I would get Shadow Generations on Switch is because for the longest time, I wanted a boost title on Switch. No, you three don't count. I remember when I was younger, I would pull up YouTube videos on my Switch and play a rooftop run video to simulate being able to play the game in handheld mode on the go. Now granted, yes, I could just get the PC version and then get a Stream Deck, but have you seen these prices? I also kind of want to get a Lenovo Legion Go instead. I just think that'd be... I just think that'd be the true Switch Pro. I truly believe that for the Nintendo fanboys of the world, to which I was one, this is an absolute win for those who can't get it on PC. And I really should be more aware of that. I do realize that. But coming back to my argument, I think the actual portion of Sonic Generations should have received more content, or that they should have given us a trailer showing the differences. And before you say I'm not allowed to criticize this game and demand more because we're getting Shadow Generations, respectfully, eat a sock. I, like many, am well within my rights to say that them delisting baseline Generations and forcing us to pay for a legacy bundle just to play the base version of Generations is scummy as hell. And like I said before, the mods will not work on Shadow Generations. So if you're a PC user, well, let's be honest, you probably already have baseline Generations if you're a Sonic fan. Let's be completely fair. But you're forced to choose a bundle where you get some classic games and baseline Generations that you can mod, or a semi-cleaned up version of Generations with a Shadow campaign that, yes, genuinely goes really hard. I will not stop praising how good this game looks. If you're not a big fan of him, there's not really a big point of getting this game. But hey, like I said, credit where credit's due. The fact that this game is going to be playable on Switch, and crossing my fingers that the port is done well, I think 3 years ago me would have lost my damn mind. But to be in a position where I'm in modding heaven with Sonic Generations and can pick from hundreds of level mods, I find myself bickering at Sonic X Shadow Generations and wishing that we just could have gotten more for Sonic. And yes, I absolutely know why they're doing it. It's to cause hype for Sonic Movie 3 and Shadow, which is really smart marketing, don't get me wrong. I just wish things were done a bit differently. Alright, that was an incoherent yap sesh. I hope I did the viewer's comment justice, and I hope you can see where I'm coming from as well. If you made it this far into the video, like and subscribe and leave a comment, as I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on if the Sonic portion in Sonic X Shadow Generations deserved more. That being said, if you liked the video, I think you'll enjoy my last video on why I think Sonic the Hedgehog 3 should be the last movie. Stay safe, stay wholesome, and don't forget to always be creative.